Hello and welcome back to our live stream. My name is Mentor Jessica, and I'm here mainly just going over different things throughout the week. So, different comments that have come through that I'm going to expand more information on. I'm going to do a midweek check in, and then I have some highlights that I'm going to share. Actually, someone I want to highlight this week. So let's go back and let's start with the comments. And if you have any questions or you have any comments that you would like to put in, go ahead, put them below, and I will bring them up on the screen while I'm going and expanding on some of the comments that came through. So the first one that I wanted to talk about had to do with my shorts. Actually, the first two had to do with shorts where I was talking about what I eat on carnivore in a day. And one of the comments was saying, eggs aren't really meat, are they? No, but they're animal based and there's different levels of carnivore. Some carnivores will do seasonings, some carnivores will only do salt, some carnivores add dairy, some don't do eggs, and some do. I was on an carnivore autoimmune protocol and wasn't allowed to do eggs or dairy, and I just added eggs in. So it was also in the description, why I'm doing more eggs is I was excited to be able to add eggs because I had been without eggs for 3 months. But the short of it is, on the different levels of carnivore, eggs are on most of them. And many people on carnivore do eat eggs, whether you're meat based. A lot of times, eggs are still a part of that. It's not like you're not allowed to have them. So I just wanted to address that. And I was nice. I think I was nice with my response back, but that was one. I know it's a misconception. And I know when I first started carnivore, and I'm like, carnivore, like when I think carnivore and I think animals, I'm thinking meat and meat only. So I can see where that is coming from. And even those animals that are carnivores, there are times when they're hungry enough, they will have fruits and berries. Guess what? People on carnivore do the same thing. There are times that different people on carnivore will have fruits or berries. I'm not opposed to having occasionally a handful. I think our ancestors did that, especially when they're local and in season. And that's different than if they're being shipped from somewhere else. So I just wanted to bring that up, bring that to attention. So if you do think that carnivore means just meat only, no, it doesn't. And I know last week there was someone that had a comment thinking that, I think it had to do with, I mentioned something about eggs or dairy or not being able to have them for so long. And they're like, oh, maybe I'm not doing carnivore. I thought I was doing carnivore. And I was like, no, you are. What you explained is still carnivore. Don't think that you're not. There's just different levels. And I did a lot of research before I decided to do carnivore. And I found that out, and it actually helped me understand, because most of the things I found about carnivore, I saw on Facebook, and there are some very rude people out there on different social media, and I absolutely love YouTube and the community on YouTube. The carnivore community is so awesome, so great, so supportive. So I just absolutely love that. All right. And then there was another comment that came up about getting scurvy from eating carnivore. And I knew that wasn't true. And was another person that talking about, no, I didn't have any liver. I'm like, okay, that was one day. I don't eat the same thing every single day. And yes, it had more eggs. But I do take a liver supplement when I know I'm not going to be getting enough fish and I'm not able to get all the organ meat that I want when I want. And so I do have supplements for those cases. However, the whole scurvy thing, that I put a link in. I think I put the link in the description. Maybe I didn't. I'll put the link in the description afterwards, because the whole thing with scurvy is mainstream talking about meat doesn't have vitamin C, when actually it does. If you eat 2 pounds of meat, is it actually beef? Muscle meat, just muscle meat alone, 2 pounds of 2.2 pounds, you will have at least 1,000 grams of vitamin C. And you can get them from liver and your organs or fish. Like, there are plenty of other sources. And it also has to do with other things you were eating and how the other things you're eating reacts with those foods. So if you are having issues and you're on carnivore and you're having issues and possibly some symptoms of scurvy, it has been found that usually it's because you're overeating on dairy. And I've had lots of different people talk about dairy, and they go a little overboard on dairy when they go carnivore and they had to eliminate it or not have as much. I know I've had different issues with dairy. So on and off. And I'm the one that could sit and eat a whole brick of cheese, and I know I can't do that. So. And then I had another comment I absolutely love, and thank you, that I mentor without even knowing I mentor. And actually, that's not true. It's not that I don't know. There's a reason I have the channel called Mentor Jessica. And I realized when this comment came through that I hadn't shared my reasoning for calling it Mentor Jessica versus saying, I'm a coach. I am a health and fitness coach. I am a wellness coach. I've have the certifications, group certifications, health and fitness certifications. I also have, what is it? No, my mind just went blank. A financial coach certification. So I can help go through all these different hurdles. But the thing is, they don't mean anything to me. Most of the time when someone hears you have this certification or that certification, they're all thinking, especially when you hear health coach, what do you think? Most people, I've heard this from friends, like, oh, so-and-so contacted me, or I commented and then they reached out and I don't know, they hunted me down, and oh, there is such and such a coach, a health coach, fitness coach, whatever. And oh, I'm trying to ignore them because I know they just want to sell me something. They just have some product that they're going to sell me. Like, those people that are out there being those type of coaches are the reason I don't promote that I'm a coach, because I don't want people sitting there thinking I'm going to sell them some type of product, or I have some type of product I want them to purchase from me, because I don't do that. Mine are all my services, my group coaching services and my one-on-one coaching services. I don't do these products, nor do I want to be tied to any particular product to sell. So that, and I realize it's many times when I'm in those group settings, people are like, how do you know this? I'm like, well, and then I tell them, and it's after they've already joined group coaching or set up a one-on-one coaching call, is when they find out that I have these certifications, and then I'm able to help them. Because what happens, and all these certifications work hand in hand, whether it's fitness or nutrition or financial, because people that have the financial issues and the financial struggles, there's a lot of times it has to do, they don't think that they can eat healthy, that they can't afford to eat healthy, or they are on so many medications. And I'm like, and then I asked, if you could get off of some of those medications and eat differently, what would your life look like? Is that something you'd be interested in? Yes, they would love that. Most of the people on the health side, I can't afford this. Like, well, we can sit down and we can look through what your options are, what's available. Because there's especially food and the types of food, depending on what you're eating, it's going to cost a lot more than what I'm going to suggest. And a lot of it has to do with anything in a package or a box. If you eliminate that stuff, your grocery budget goes down. And it doesn't all have to be long prep times. I don't like things that are long prep times. So yes, my whole thing, I purposely called my channel Mentor Jessica and consider myself a mentor for a reason. Because I look at a coach is mainly someone who instructs you or tells you what to do. And I don't like being that person that's like, you have to do this. No, because it's not what it's supposed to be. Where I look at as a mentor as someone who's going through these experiences with you or has been there and just advising you with what they have learned. And that is where I look at where I resonate with more than being a coach. Oh, all right. And then let me check and see if there's any comments. Nope, not right now. Okay, so midweek check-in. So far this week, I am absolutely loving my bacon jerky. 4 pounds. Nope, I did 4 pounds each time. So I did 8 pounds of bacon jerky. And I have to go get more bacon to make more because I'm almost out. My daughter, it was so funny. She ate it, I had her try it, and she doesn't like jerky. And she tried it and she's like, this is the only jerky I've ever tried that I actually like. And I'm like, yes. And then I realized that's not necessarily a great thing because that means I'm going to go through a lot more of it. But I'm happy we finally found a snack that she can have that doesn't require refrigeration. And it's been a huge hit, obviously, since I've gone through 8 pounds. I don't know how much more I'm going to have to get when I go to the store tomorrow, but so that has been a huge hit. The other thing, they were sick. They were both feeling better, which is great. And then this week, my food that I decided to add in is butter. And it's one of those that's not really suggested because it's a dairy product. But since it's real butter, and I will have I have a short coming out tomorrow with talking about butter. Real butter that actually has dairy products in it and only has dairy products or maybe salt are the only kinds of butter that I'm consuming. And I'm probably going to go on a little tangent here because I am so shocked at the number of people that when I ask them if they have real butter, because I can have butter and I'm testing out butter, and I ask if they have real butter to put in my coffee, they're like, what do you mean real butter? Like real butter. And then they bring a tub of spreadable butter out of the fridge and like, yeah, here's some butter. I'm like, that is not real butter. And I've had a few different ones. I've looked at the back, not even a single ingredient that is a dairy product. And so then I'm asking, where does butter come from? And they're looking at me like, what do you mean? Like, so where does butter come from? What is the main ingredient in butter? I know the main ingredient in my butter. What do you think the main ingredient in butter is? Well, everyone has said milk. Okay, so the back of the ingredient list should contain milk or cream. And in many cases, different people that thought they had butter, it wasn't butter. It didn't have any. So I've been using this week as a great teaching experience. And I've had different people I've gone and asked if when they asked if they have butter. And I'm getting this look like, what do you mean? And I can't believe how many times I've had to explain what butter is and what I mean and why I'm asking. But so many people had no clue. And so that would be something interesting to go to the store and actually go through all the different types of butter and see how many that are on the shelf actually have a dairy in them, and then how many of them have dairy and my next big one, no seed oils. I can't have any seed or vegetable oils either. So that has been probably the biggest thing that has happened this week. And then I have I want to highlight one of my biggest supporters. And shout out to John at Big Man, Alaska. He has been on Carnivore. He has lost over 100 pounds. He has been doing an amazing job. He has been an amazing support for me. And I encourage you to go watch his channel and follow him. I was actually this last week when I was wanting to thank my subscribers, I was like, gosh, I wish I knew his name. I can't believe I don't know his name. This weekend, he actually introduced him. And so I finally figured out his name. I was about to send him an email. So thank you, John, for everything that you've done and your support. And thank you for your comments. And you have been doing amazing. He's working hard, trying to give updates on his YouTube channel, doing as much as he can on the weekend. We're learning the ins and outs of this together. So it's been really great seeing him succeed and going through this process and supporting each other. And he has been my biggest supporter. So I just wanted to say thank you, especially and a shout out to him. And I would love if you go and check out his channel and his story and his experience. And I know he has an experience. He's been doing some testing himself on I think it was fast food restaurants. So check that out. I'm sure he'll have that posted this weekend. All right. Well, I thank you for those of you who were able to make it and join me today. I'm not seeing any comments. You guys are quiet. So I go ahead, keep commenting, put your questions in the chats underneath my videos, and I will be checking those out throughout the week and answering some of those questions and expanding on some of those on my live next Thursday. And tonight I have another live. I am joining as a guest. So that'll be fun. That'll be interesting. And maybe some of you are actually over there. I will see you then. Bye.